Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Daisy with you guys. This time I decided to do a video on how to build a runway, or my version of a runway. I actually wanted to use this so I can do sort of a showcase with some of the custom content I've been finding. That's basically what I've been doing a lot. I know I just got rid of some of the custom content that I have, but I decided to get some more. I'm always looking at that type of stuff. So I decided to do this. So I do want to use this in a video in which I do a showcase or CC finds type of thing. I haven't tried it out, so I don't know if it's going to work as I want it to, but hopefully it works really well. I did have a sim go through this that I built, so she can access everything. It's just that I want to use this for that type of video. I don't know when I will film it, but I definitely want to do it pretty soon. I might do a bunker challenge and a color series challenge, or not a color series challenge, but I will most likely do a color series video pretty soon. Like I mentioned in my past video, I have not forgotten those that have requested specific videos. I am definitely going to do those. It's just with this computer issues have been driving me crazy, and for now they're just going to have to I'm just going to have to deal with it basically. Alright, so here is my runway, and this is how I pictured it to look like. I wasn't actually going to do an actual building in the back, but then I thought, well then are the models just going to be waiting back there in a row or something, or are they going to be able to change? So I actually added a house to it, or not a house, but sort of like a place where all the clothes and where they'd be able to do all their makeup. So this is basically a place where designers would go to showcase their items. So not so much as make them there, but showcase them. And I was gonna make the chairs, I was gonna make more rows when it came to the chairs, but I thought no, for runway shows, there's usually a select few who get chosen to go to them. Now, I did want to let you guys know that I did upload it to the gallery. I think I did that yesterday or early this morning. And you guys can go ahead and download it and do whatever you'd like to it. You can change the colors, you can add more chairs, you can take away chairs, do what you like. I left it on the gallery so that if you guys decide you guys want to use it, you can definitely do it. Now some of the decorations you might have to move if you actually decide to use it. I just did it just so it looks a little bit nicer. But you just basically have to just move them. And I'm referring to the balloons that you'll see in a bit. You just have to move them slightly, and they should be able to walk through the door. Now, if you do decide to use this build, I would really like to see it. So, if you decide to use exactly as it looks, or if you decide to change it, if you guys want to send me a tweet, screenshot it to me, I would love to see it. And my Twitter should be ADaisyADay, at ADaisyADay. If for some reason it isn't, I will insert it here somewhere so that you guys can see it. I'll also notate it in the description. For those of you who are going to use it or eventually use it, I would love to see, especially if you change it, because I want to see how creative you got. Because when you download it from the gallery, you can download it furnished or unfurnished, and I would just love to see how it ends up looking for you guys. Now, I tried using items that were not custom content. That way you guys can go ahead and download it without having too many issues or having items that are missing or anything like that. So I definitely try to stay away from custom content as far as this build goes. Now there might be some content that you would need to get to work for, or one of the upgrade, maybe not one of the upgrades, but one of the updates. You might need some items that came along with an update and that came along with get to work. For the most part, it is base game items. So right now, I'm just basically working on the area in which all the makeup and all the hair would be done. I didn't want to put too many stools in there. I know there's two that are really close together, but I could not make them further apart. But it doesn't really matter to me. It still looks fine. And eventually this room does get 2 chairs added. I don't believe you get to see it, unfortunately. I happened to finish it at a certain point, and then I went off and did something else, came back to it, and was about to close them, and then I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to do this after all, and then I start adding the rest of the house lights, and I add 2 chairs to the side where the makeup and hair station would be, and then I add some of the stairs. But you'll see later on. You'll see it within the pictures. You didn't miss much of anything. It's really just placing items that I didn't really show as far as the last bit of it, but nothing extreme, nothing super important that you would have really missed out on or anything like that. I don't know what it is. I always seem to be missing something, some sort of footage. But for those of you who haven't heard me state this in other videos, basically my computer screen, I can't see anything on it, so I'm using a television or my TV to view this on. So I'm using the keyboard and a mouse, and then I'm viewing all of this through the TV screen. So because of that, I can either be on the computer or the laptop, I should say. I can only be on the laptop or I can be watching TV. I can't be doing both. So for me, that means not as often as I'd like to make videos, but I will make them. I definitely will, so don't you worry. You will be seeing them in the future. They're just going to take a little bit longer than usual because I can't be hogging the television, even though I definitely would want to. Alright, and then this side, as you guys can see, it is the clothing section. Now I know some of the clothing are pretty high, but I figure, maybe there's some type of ladder to reach the remainder of the clothing. Not only that, for a fashion show, they would already have the clothes that they were going to use ready to go on racks. And I don't believe we have racks in the game yet. If we do, please point them out to me because I'm not sure if there is. And I mean those where you hang clothes from. Those movable ones with little wheels on it. Because if there are, I could have added some of these. So basically I'm just figuring out what wallpaper I want to use. I think I tried a few of them and it looked really strange just because I decided to use the really high walls. So if you see me go from one to the next, that's what it was. I just didn't like the way it was looking. For the one that I just had, the square was just too off looking that I just went with just a plain white with brown molding. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm trying to figure out what type of lights. I did see that we had mirrors with the lights, but I thought I'd use these instead, especially because they're pretty high walls, I didn't want to use too many mirrors. I figured these would be long enough, and then I would just have to add something at the top for decoration. And then on this wall, I wasn't too sure what to put on it, but what I end up going with are the posters, and then eventually one of them has to go because I remembered that there's no way for the Sims to get into the building. They can get on the catwalk once they're in the building, but they can't get in the building. So I had to add that later on. And I actually like the way that ended up looking, even though I ended up changing it. And right here I'm just trying to decide what to put on the top. See, for me it's not really important to fill up every space, every part of the house or building or whatever it is that I'm deciding I want to make. I don't necessarily always fill up every space, and personally I like things to be more spacious. I like things to be more spacious, and actually for me less is more. Those walls that you see that are plain, they do end up being plain at the end. You guys can feel free to add whatever you would like on those walls. To me, I think it looks fine. I just didn't want it to be too cluttered, too much going on at the same time. So I went with just plain white on that wall. And these are the balloons that I was referring to, the decorations, where it covers the door. In the end, I believe I moved them, so only it's lightly covering it. But if it's a problem with a sim going through the door, then you can just move them off the door. It still looks pretty nice. And as far as the colors for the building, you can always change those too. The back ends up being a little similar to what the front is, except for the stairs. At this point I was like, oh yeah, how are they going to get in to this building? There's no stairs. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. Now I know in real life we can all just climb on top and that would be it, but in Simland there's no such thing as jumping. No, not at all. That would be something if they did jump. For the other sim games, has there ever been a trampoline or anything in which they can jump? I think that'd be pretty neat. Or rollerblading, maybe? Rollerblading, roller skating. Either of the two. I think it'd be pretty fun. Or when they exercise, instead of doing push-ups, they just did jumping jacks. I don't know, just throwing things out there that I would like to see. Even something as simple as a jumping jack. Yep. And then right now, you'll notice that I'm doing the fence, and I'm actually almost done with this. I wanted to do a fence all the way around and do a main gate, but then I thought, nah, I don't like the way it looks, so I left it more of an open space. Now, I don't do much with the yard because, like I said, for me in particularly, less is more, and I just didn't want to put a lot of random things in there, and I feel like if it was sort of a fashion designer type of place, they wouldn't have like a lot of landscaping done, like as far as flowers and all of that. You can always add all of that if you'd like, because it would look nice. I just didn't want to clutter everything up. And this is the way it looks in the night, and actually those that I added are like little fountains. And yeah, there you have it. This is the runway or CM Fashion building that I decided to do, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and there will be many more videos to come soon enough, and I will see you guys next time. If you guys have any suggestions as far as videos for me, please leave them in the comments and I will try to do them when I can. Alright, bye guys!